All right, so we are just going to treat the MCQ and the other fill in the gap now. Okay, question number 10 says math textbook in Japanese school are. So in treating MCQs, remember, I think in one of the courses in nursing school, we used to do true, false, we used to do true, false, we call them MCQ anyway, where you have list of questions and a question, then you have list of answer, possible answer. You have to say whether this is true, this is false, this is true, this is false, or whatever. Okay, so this is how best to treat MCQs in IELTS. Okay, especially when you are practicing. But when you are able to when you master how they go about it, then you can set out your own plan. But I advise that you look at every option to say whether it is true or false, then arrive at the most appropriate answer. All right. Question 10, talking about textbook. At this juncture, you just have to look for that part of the passage that talk about what you are looking for. Now we are familiar with it. Okay, that should be in paragraph C. Mention textbooks. All right, so textbooks. So you are going to ask yourself, are math textbook cheap for pupils to buy in Japan? Okay, they cheap. So they talked about inexpensive here, but what they said is that presumably these textbooks are inexpensive to produce, but well set out and logical and blah, blah, blah. And don't forget that they are free, they're providing free compulsory education. So in Japan, they don't buy, pupils don't pay for textbooks. Okay, although it is cheap to produce, they don't sell. Okay, all right. Are they well organized and adapted to the needs of the pupils? So they said they are inexpensive and well set out and logically developed. So that's like well organized, okay? However, are they adapted to the needs of the pupils? One teacher was particularly keen, that's like a continuation to this. One teacher was particularly keen to introduce colors, blah, blah, blah. He felt this will make them more accessible to in a cartoon culture. So more accessible, okay? They made the textbooks more accessible, that is more like adapted. Yeah, you can say they made it adapted to the pupils. Okay, they made it adapted to the pupils. Okay, so I'm thinking, could this be this, could it be this, could it be this? I'm looking for the most appropriate, which, and usually to just be one of them that is correct. Okay, written to be used in conjunction with TV programs. They did mention cartoon culture, but did they talk about TV programs? Do they want to use it for TV program? I doubt that. Not very popular with many Japanese teachers. Are you sure? Are you making sense at all? I remember they talked about teachers, all textbooks on the whole, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that, honestly. Okay. And there was a place they talk about teachers that they don't even use worksheets. So they are using it. I can't really trace where it is now. Anyway, this is the answer. That leaves us with this. It is well organized, well set out, well and adapted to the needs of the pupil. So this is good to go. All right. And then moving on to question 11. When a new math topic is introduced, okay? So I'm going to look for when a new math topic is introduced from the passage. And that is here. So they said at the beginning, the pupils put, so they do their homework, okay? Looking for the beginning of today's lesson. So, oh, sorry, let me clear the. So now after the homework, the teacher explains the topic of the lesson. So, you know, teachers come in to introduce new topics every time they come to the class. However, they treat the homework first. So, so this is the new topic, okay? After the homework, the teacher explained the topic of the lesson. Now, slowly and with lots of repetition and elaboration, like I'm doing, I think I'm very slow. Slowly and with a lot of repetition and elaboration. So when a new topic is introduced, so what has this place has to tell us? Students answer questions on the board. Is there anything like that? So they said examples are demonstrated on the board. So teachers make examples on the board, okay? I don't think there's anything. Where they mention board is for the homework. Students come and write their homework on the board, okay, if you can see that. So, but when a new lesson is introduced, the teacher takes over, okay? Students rely entirely on the textbook, rely on the textbook. So they said only rarely are supplementary worksheet distributed in a math class. Okay. Only rarely, okay. Only rarely did they use, so did they talk about entirely, rely entirely on that and that and that? Okay, let's see. Relative homogeneity, render. All right, let's move on. It is carefully and patiently explained to the students. Carefully, which could mean slowly, okay? Lots of repetition, just to make sure that they understand it. It is usual for students to use extra worksheets. So rarely, we saw that, they rarely use worksheet. So in some occasion, at the moment, I'm not.
Sir,
Yes, yes,
excuse me.
yes, please.
At the last sentence, at last sentence of this paragraph,
Okay.
says that that at this point the teacher will. So the students copy. They copy on their. They have copy, not on the board, but they make copy. That they copy well. I don't know if you know.
Yes, yes.
So
Hoping
it has proven that
one.
students don't.
No, no, no. That's not what that plays. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to mute you. Yeah, but this place is saying that at this point the teacher will circulate and make sure that all the pupils coping well, coping, not copy, that they are doing well. Okay, they are progressing well. So the answer to this is option C, so which is just this statement. slowly and with lots of repetition and elaboration. Yeah, and this also further explained that the teacher would just make sure anyway. Okay, but that is the answer. Let me clear all these and move on to question 12. Now, a lot of people missed this question number 12 as well. So I'm going to look at why. I'm going to look at why question number 12. Okay. Now, how do schools deal with students who experience difficulties? Okay. So students who experience difficulties are strugglers, as we saw in those are the strugglers, those are the slow learners. So how do schools deal with students who experience difficulties? This one says they are given appropriate supplementary tuition. Tuition here means lessons, okay? They are given appropriate additional lessons. So let's say they talked about they have mixed abilities and all that. Teachers say that they give individual help. So teacher give individual help, okay, if necessary. Although this play doesn't talk about strugglers as it were, but we all know that it is the struggling students that require extra work. So teacher gives extra lesson, okay? So thank you for this. In addition, in this new one, in observed lesson, any struggler will be assisted by the teacher. So the strugglers are assisted by teacher. So that's one. So how does school deal with students who are not doing well, okay? Assisted by teacher or quietly seek help from their neighbors, okay? So the neighbors or neighborhood, they seek help in the neighborhood, okay? Carefully fostered, anyway, then parents also for they also inform them, blah blah blah, and then in helping their children to keep up with class, sending them to private evening lesson if help is needed, you know. So they are given appropriate. This looks more like the answer, but let's move on. They are encouraged to copy from other pupils. From all the information we've had, I'm sure we can quickly say that's not the issue in Japan, okay? It's not as though they want them to copy from their neighbors, okay? They are forced to explain their slow progress. Are they forced? They might be able to express their progress. Are they forced? Nothing like that, honestly. They are placed in a mixed ability class. Now, look at this. You are not looking for the same word, but you are looking for the meaning. What is happening in the passage? I want to assume that a lot of people actually picked this one. They are placed. So how do schools deal with students who experience difficulties? Okay. Is it when they experience difficulties that they move them into the mixed ability class? That takes me to the beginning. It is remarkable that large mixed ability classes could be kept together for math throughout all their compulsory schooling from age 6 to 15. So they are kept in the same class which have mixed abilities from the age of 6 to 15. That's what the writer said. And that is not just a reaction to students who are not doing well. Okay? I don't know if you get what I mean. All the students are, so placing them in mixed ability classes it happens to every student in Japan. So that crosses this out as well. I'm so sorry, this have to go. And this is the answer. They are given appropriate supplementary tuition. Teacher assists them, okay? They give them lessons, extra lessons, assisted by teacher. That is what the school does. Further from, okay, someone is raising his or her hand. I'll first see if there's a chat first. Hold on. Okay, there's a chat. Someone says, please, I could not get the answers to question 2 to 10 or something. 2_10. All right, if you mean 2 to 10, we have a recording section which you can watch afterwards. But someone is raising his or her hand. Could you please tell us the reason why, if you can? Okay. So, but they can, teacher assist them. That's what the school does. They can seek help in their neighborhood. Parents also send them to evening tuition. But what does the school do? Teachers give them some form of supplementary tuition, okay? So this answered the question, all right? Question 13 now. It says, why do Japanese students tend to achieve relatively high rate of success in math? Why do Japanese students tend to achieve relatively high success compared to their counterparts? We all know. Okay, so I want to believe that should be around this paragraph F that talk about major contributing factors to success, okay? They have attitudes, okay? They value education. Math is recognized as a compulsory subject, and they place emphasis on hard work with a focus on accuracy, and there are other things. So why? Is it because it is a compulsory subject in Japan? Is it? Yes, we know it is a compulsory subject, but is that why there are lots of reasons, okay? So let's say they are used to working without help from others. This is out of it because they have to seek help from neighborhood and all that. Much effort is made and correct answers are emphasized. So what does this mean? Much effort, correct answers, and emphasis and all that. There's a strong emphasis on repetitive learning. It says, and the view of repetitively boring lessons and learning by the fact by heart, which is sometimes quoted in relation to Japanese classes, may be unfair and unjustified. Okay, so this leaves that out of the equation. So is it because it is compulsory subject in Japan? I'm not quite sure if it is compulsory also in England. Okay, but that's not only. Let's see what they have to say. Major contributing factor. So if you say this is the answer, what about the attitude? What about the efforts, the culture? What about the fact, yes, compulsory? What about the hard work? Okay. What about what the parent does? What about what teacher does and all that? Okay, so it is more than just being compulsory. And it says here, and the clue to the answer says, true schooling, and the emphasis is on hard work coupled with a focus on accuracy. Look at this. Much effort, the emphasis. Much effort is made, hard work. Okay? Much effort is made and correct answers are emphasized with a focus on accuracy. That gives us a broader picture. I'm so sorry. That might be confusing, but it gives us a bigger picture than the fact that it is just compulsory in Japan. Okay? The emphasis is on hard work. They put in much effort. Parents also encourage them to work very well, but you know, it's just finding part of the passage that talks about it reading. Okay? All right. So that brings us to the end of the MCQ in the assessment as well. So let's quickly go to the, if you don't have any question, we'll move on to the last part. Sorry, we've really taken time. We'll move on to the last part, talking about collection of ants. All right. Oh, beautiful. So we'll move on to questions. So this is page 96. All right, so we had this drawing. This is a fill in the gap question, something like that, on this passage, which is on collecting hand specimens. So because of our time, I'm just going to focus on where this thing came from. So when you have a diagram like this, apart from the instruction which says no more than 2 words from the passage, you must look at the heading, okay? Look at the heading. The heading says one method of collecting ants. That is what this diagram represents. This diagram represents just one method of collecting ants, which was described in this passage, okay? Now, let me point out why this heading is important. Collecting hands can be as simple, blah, blah, blah. I know you have read that. The exact method used will depend on the final purpose of the collection. So there are several methods of collecting hands. That's what that place is saying. So to collect, and they gave example, to collect as wide a range of species as possible, several methods must be used. Okay? So that includes blah, 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 and blah, and blah, and blah. Meanwhile, let's look at another. So we have talked about this paragraph. Then this one says baits can be used to attract blah, 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 blah. Now, apart from the topic, apart from this title, one other thing to look for is something distinctive from what was given. And in this drawing, what I could see is a funnel. Okay, so the funnel will lead you to which method they are talking about. Don't forget, it is just one method that they are talking about. And that one includes the use of funnels. Okay. Oh, so bait, in this place, I'm simply looking for funnel. Okay. So I have no issue with this, nothing to do with this paragraph talking about bait. Okay, so many hands are collected. At this point, I'm just looking for funnel. Funnel, where are you? So funnel has showed up here. Now, I want to validate, is this really, did they mention funnel again? Okay, and is this what I'm looking for? All right. So I'm going to read. Mentor Shade, what's happening?
Please, someone is waiting to be allowed into the class, please.
Oh, really?
Marianne.
Not at all. I think I cancelled. Let me see. I can
All right.
I've cancelled the waiting room of the thing. So it might just be this network. Okay. So I found a funnel. Okay. And I'm looking for, is it just one method? Many hands are collected. One
There's another one up there.
funnel again.
Yes.
So, but now the one where,
This is mostly commonly done by placing leaf litter on a screen over a large funnel.
okay. However, so they are talking about everything here. This is probably what and this is another one. This is probably what these are funnels, okay? This is what I'm looking for. So this whole question simply describe this paragraph, okay? Not more, not less. So anything outside that paragraph, some people picked pitfall trap, some people picked, there are answers like bait coming up in the question, okay? So that means you didn't look for funnel and you were only looking for what looks like it. So once you have a diagram like this, it will be almost impossible for them to give a diagram to represent the whole passage. But you just, what we point you to where it is taken from is simply this, this title, okay? So one of the most, just one method, okay? Now is to collect, now let me go back. Many ants are small and forage primarily blah, 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 on and other debris on the ground. Collecting these species by hand can be difficult. One of the most successful ways to collect them, to collect them is to gather, okay, is to gather the leaf litter, So we are gathering leaf litter in which they are foraging and extract the ant from it. This is commonly done by placing leaf litter on a screen over a large funnel. So this looks like leaves, okay? All right, so I have to finish this section within the whole teaching now, within 10 minutes. I've been alerted, okay? So now, these are leaf litters. So if question 38 is asking me for leaf litters, these are leaf litters. Oh, this is, okay? And then when you are picking your answer, don't change the word. Just leave what they lifted, just leave what is in the passage. It is singular in the passage, put it as singular in your answer. Leave litter, placing leave litter, okay? Just put that. And to validate, it says not more than 2 words, okay? So the answer to 38 is leave litter. On a screen over a large funnel, this is a funnel, there's something on it. This is a screen, okay? 39 is a screen, okay? We are still looking for 37, right? So funnel often under some it, okay? You look for some, okay, that looks like it. And once you look at whatsoever was given to you, 39. Look at what precedes it. It say a, you know that your answer will be what? Just singular, a screen. Okay, they usually just lift it from the passage. Some, that looks like it, but where they put this thing, I don't, let's move forward. Okay, so under some it. As the leaf litter dries from above, blah, 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 downward, blah, 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 they move to the bottom and are collected in alcohol placed below the funnel. So I know this is below the funnel. So what I'm looking for is something below the funnel, which is alcohol. And that looks like liquid. So this is alcohol. Some people said preservatives. So probably you have come to a wrong paragraph and all that to pick your answer, okay? Which doesn't have phoneme, all right? So this is alcohol. Someone wrote ethanol. You are not allowed to use your own words, although ethanol and alcohol could mean the same thing, but your answer should have just been alcohol, all right? So now, if we look at this whole passage again, they didn't mention of anything that could tell me the answer to 37, leaving me with some it, okay? They already put some here, okay? And the way they put it, like say the it is coming out, you know, on top. So that leaves us 37 is it, 38 is leaf litter, 39 is screen, 40 is alcohol. Thank you so much. Any questions so far? And then under this screen, someone said coerce screen. Although they mentioned coerce screen, but please just look at where that portion comes from and put whatsoever is there. Although coerce is not more than 2 words, but they didn't mention it. Is it appropriate for that part of the passage? Okay. Any question at all?
Please, the question number 40, can we say in alcohol?
The answer is simply alcohol. The question is saying, what is here? What is in this thing? The phoneme is placed below what? So fall out of the bottom are collected in alcohol placed below the phoneme. That's what you know, okay? And they are looking at the content, okay? Not just this basin. Assuming it is this basin now, probably they will talk about the basin in the passage, okay? Is the content, and that's what we have. Placed below, collected in alcohol, placed below, okay?
Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Sorry to interrupt. Yes, that number 39. Why
Yes.
can't it be through a coerced hit? At least it's just 2 words,
Yes,
and there is an A there.
yes.
So can we please look into that? Thank you.
I'm not sure. I checked this answer. I think they just put screen alone. There are instances where they put. Oh, I have to mute you.
There is a background noise, please. I can't hear what you are saying.
It all depends on their marking. Okay, it all depends on their marking scheme. Okay, so I believe that from here it says a screen. Let's look for. Let me just note. This method works especially in rainforest. The method of improving the catch when. Shemi, wait. The method of improving the catch when using a funnel is to sieve the leaf litter through a screen, a coarse screen. Okay, so I will not come, honestly, I won't come to coarse screen when I have a screen describing the method, the original method, placing leaf litter on a screen. Okay, meanwhile, this is just a method of improving the catch and all that. So, but it all depends on their marking scheme. You know, you don't know what is in their mind. So if you have seen a screen, is at best left as just screen. Okay, whether coerce or fine or anything, they can decide that. If you don't put coerce, it's easier to mark it for you than if their marking scheme says. So just stick to what you have in the passage. You can see that is within, or everything you are looking for is just from here to probably here. Everything in that passage apart from probably to this place. Okay, so coming down here to pick coerce screen is like 2 no. Okay. All right, we have just 2 minutes to go.
Sorry, I think I will
Hello.
go by your
Okay.
explanation that says that if we leave it as screen,
Mm-hmm.
you know, leave it hanging, it's better. But to say
Sure.
that
Mm-hmm.
it is not within the passage, everything is still
Yeah.
within the passage. But
Mm-hmm.
if we say screen,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a better option.
Sure,
Because
sure.
if it's
You rather
screen, you can still get your mark rather than you putting
rather
coerce
than
screen
yes,
and
sure.
you are marked wrong.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
well, maybe
Sure.
with that, I will
Sure.
go by what you said.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
have to. All right. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I think the coerce screen is talking about a method of improving the catch and not one method of collecting. So I think the
Yes, ma'am.
major topic is one method of collecting, and which is
Yeah,
what you
everything you are
just said.
looking for is here.
Yeah. So
Don't do too low.
something about coerce screen is talking about method of improving, not
Yeah.
method of collecting.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So don't forget, this is what you are looking for. Whatsoever you have, that's what you should. Don't do too low, and it's not supposed to be hard. So one method of collecting hands and not a method of improving catch. If they want you to do that, probably to be here, okay? All right, thank you so much for joining today's class. Wish you all the best as you prepare for your exam. So just apply the principle, be it list of headings, be it yes, no, not give it, true, false, not give it. Just go through principle, okay? And we are going to make this video available for us to look through if at all you have to. All right. Thank you for joining once again. Have a blessed evening and preparation for it.
Thank you very much, sir. You are much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry for taking your time, please.
Oh, no, not at all.
We enjoyed the class.
All right. That's good to know. Bye.
We want more of it, oh.
We'll
More
surely
readings.
do
Thank
that.
you.
We'll surely
Thank you
do
so
that.
much. Yes.
All right.
Because that
Bye.
is a challenge.